I see there's one person in the chat. Hey, Jen. It's just you and me and Libby and Lexi and a lot of people now. And Oliver, now that he hears me talking. Oh, I'm so excited to see you guys. Hey, Ellen. Hey, Lexa. Lax. Hammy Pup. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for everybody joining. I know, we all love Oliver over here. I haven't met one person in my videos that that is not an Oliver fan. And if you guys are not, then you guys are being just very nice, which I appreciate. Hey, Rain. So you guys are seeing a little more than my regular setup. Thank you, Libby. Edith, I get what you mean. I totally do. It's exciting when somebody is doing these things that you're so used to seeing out in LA, especially, you know. We'll get to the questions in a little bit. What's the deal with Cassie? Cassie is busy right now. That's okay. Cassie and I talk offline, so either way, we'll be good. Hi, Marlene, Nethra, Crystal. Thank you, you guys. Thank you so much for the comments, compliments on my setup. You know, I know that there's a lot of stuff that I wanted to incorporate, and I also kind of wanted to sit here to see, like, more or less how much is going to be blocked. Oh no, the picture of me and Jake is blocked. We'll figure that out. Actually, I learned the farther back I sit, the more of my set you can see. So you can see Giuseppe, you can see Jake. Hi, April. Yeah, hopefully no storms tonight. We'll get to the questions in a little bit. We're kind of just letting people pile in here and pleasantries and saying hello and kind of talking about the set. You know, guys, you guys know I'm a people pleaser. And that's a part of me that I am working on. So, you know, the initial reactions were they were very mixed with people saying like, oh, your set's so cute. And oh my God, yeah. And then, you know, a lot of people saying, oh, this is like really distracting and really busy. I heard you guys, like I got it and it made a lot of sense. So I wanted to find a good compromise. Like I gave you guys those paintings for a couple of months, but you guys also knew I said several times that it wasn't my sense of style, and so it would be changing. Yeah, I have the people pleaser curse. It's apparently very rampant in the addict community. But I wanted to find something that reflected. Hi, Sophie Apple. I can't read everybody's comments. I'm sorry, you guys. I really do want to say hi to everybody, and when I get a chance, I will. Yeah, there's a lot going on with the setup, and this is just, quite frankly, me. In every apartment I've ever had, I've worked at going a little more minimalistic here and there, but it's always been very busy. Yeah, definitely rampant in the anxiety community. Hey, Griff! I didn't see you pop in, but I see everybody saying hi. And Dean, hello. But yeah, I really, like, you guys already heard me say I spent a lot of money on the tapestries, and I'm embarrassed to show you guys another angle, but this is like my closet area. And so I've actually integrated those tapestries into the like curtains that cover my closet area. I don't have closet space really in this apartment, so I've had to use like basically a whole wall of the bedroom as like an alpha setup, and I've covered that with curtains, but then the curtains, just blank white curtains, have really kind of been boring. So to kind of balance out what I was doing there with over here, I added the tapestries, and so that got pretty expensive. So when I put the tapestry up and then it didn't really work on video, I was really pretty heartbroken, because not only had I spent the money, but thank you, Holly. Interior design is one of my favorite things ever in the world. So I was heartbroken that the black and white tapestry didn't read well on camera. But I did feel like kind of putting them on the sides as like curtains was a really good compromise. Yeah, Jen, these lives give you guys a chance to really see like the secrets behind like how I do this. And a lot of people don't know that this is my bedroom. I want to move this picture of me and Jake more in frame. Just because I love that boy. Is anybody else in their favorite sweatpants like for the past month or two? Thoughts on I love IKEA. In fact, one of my subscribers, Matt, loves when he can see that lint roller right there in frame. And there you can see my deodorant and stuff like that. That corner of my room is kind of where I have, you can't see like my makeup table, but that's kind of where I do all my like glam stuff. My day job is I'm a marketer and a recruiter for a digital agency. Heck, is that my Christy? Is that my Christy? Oh my God, you guys, my best friend is in the chat. You guys saw her in my my Taylor Nicole Dean video. She's gonna hate me for this, but I inserted a picture of Johnny Craig, and I was like, "This is my friend at Warped Tour 2009," and there she is with him, and that's my best friend. Oh yeah, everybody say hi to Christy. She's not one who really like gets on these things, so she's just doing this to show support for me because she's just like the best friend ever. So yeah, I'm really excited. I think we're gonna have more people in here than last time. Oh, I love that you guys are saying hi to Christy. I'm gonna turn on the AC. You guys shouldn't hear too much of it, just so that I don't start sweating on camera. Yeah, so what are we gonna talk about today? I don't know that I came up with any topics, but I also feel like you guys have a lot of questions when we come into these public chats. The weather in DC is really like rainy and gloomy. Any news on Dissociated and Team Pinata? What can I share here? I don't know that I should share what I know. Just came back to show the love. Have to get back to working. Okay, Christy, thank you for stopping by. Quarantine has been really tough. I honestly don't think I can share what I know. Let me tell you guys this much. Somebody reached out to me, and shared information with me that I think might have been not fair to share. Yeah. I don't know about making an update video to Team Pinata. There are some thoughts that I want to put out there. There are some thoughts that I want to put out there about Team Pinata, but at the same time, I'm not sure. My Instagram, everything is the same as here. helloleesh everywhere. It's all over my videos and stuff too. So yeah, with Team Pinata, I'm not sure. There are a couple of thoughts that I would like to add to the conversation. I did end up, before this, I had a really icky feeling because I had somebody, it is a sensitive topic because it's basically somebody else's information that I don't feel is necessarily my place to have or this other person's information to give me. Yeah, it was essentially private discussions between Dissociated and her friends. I caught a glimpse into kind of like everything that happened. Boyfriend tag. I don't know if he'd want to be on camera. He's super supportive of my Libby. Inside my water bottle. I'm probably not going to buy Gabby's new book, but not like out of protest, but just because I'm not interested in it. My tattoo, we did a tattoo tour in the last one, so instead of me going through it again, I would just recommend watching the replay of the last one from two nights ago, I think, because I actually have a lot of tattoos. I try to get them in hidden places, so there's a lot more than you would think. Oh, I missed somebody said they appreciated the chat on IG. I appreciate those chats too. Yeah, I had somebody go on to my last Team Pinata video, and I'm sure most of you guys would be in the same boat as me. A favorite film is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I had somebody comment just like a couple hours ago saying like essentially advocating for the like, I don't know if I should say this because I'm trying to keep this like community guidelines friendly, but I'm not a streamer yet, so we'll see. Yeah, I had somebody comment basically in defense of what my friend referred to me or taught me as the term minor attracted people. Essentially, there was a recent comment where this person essentially like went in on me saying that I'm a bad person for stigmatizing this kink that people have that involves children in certain ways, and I was just like, I'm not having that here. You go. In terms of streaming good games, so here's the thing. I just ordered a gaming laptop. I'm so excited. It's going to be coming in June. Now, I don't know that I'm going to be able to stream many games for a while. Yeah, yeah, you guys are with me. I'm sure you guys are totally with me on that. It's disgusting. It is, you know, I don't want anybody to send hate to this person, but if you guys go to that video, it's a very recent comment. If you guys want to hear their argument, but it made me mad. So, so here's what I'm thinking. So let's assume that in the next, say, year or so, I'm able to do this full time. I would like to disguise pedophilia. Yeah, it is. I would like to, I said this in my last stream, I used to play World of Warcraft for years and years and years in college, and I miss it all the time. You would have built me a PC? Griff, you can still build me a PC. I do want a high-performing laptop to edit on, just because 8 gigabytes of RAM is still making it so long to edit my videos, and I feel like I could get these done so much faster with a gaming laptop, just because I want something high-performing. If we want to build me a gaming desktop, I would probably want to wait until I moved into a bigger apartment and actually had a good office set up. Ooh, professionally, yay. So yeah, my thought is that let's say that by the end of the year, I'm able to, do this full time. Then I would love to be able to carve out, say, a couple hours a few times a week to pick up World of Warcraft again, to start from scratch, to really like dive into the nostalgia of it and, you know, kind of almost feel like a beginner, but get some of that muscle memory back, and just have, yeah, a lot of it is nostalgia for me, but I also enjoyed playing the game and was pretty good at it. Yes, the like button is free and appreciated. If you guys wouldn't mind taking a second just to hit that. I never ask for that. I'm trying to get more comfortable with asking you guys for stuff like that because I know a lot of you just say, hey, like, we just need a reminder. That's what somebody said when, before I had the like, please like and subscribe on my channel thing. Somebody was like, hey, can you just add something like that? Because I almost forgot to subscribe to your channel. So I'm starting to try to embrace the idea of being a YouTuber, and part of being a YouTuber is saying like, hey guys, like, I want this to be my full-time thing. So if all you can do is like throw a little like up there, that always, you know, every little bit helps. So I would love to be able to integrate some streaming, some World of Warcraft streaming, maybe even a little bit of Sims. I don't know. Before I started YouTube, I was like building out my apartment, but then kind of expanding it and making it like a cool version of my apartment, and then making my boyfriend and making me and having us live in this apartment together and like building our careers, and like that was a lot of fun. The interior design part of it, I'm great. I'm great, Agata. I'm fantastic right now. Squinted to watch TV and brought me a glass. She is too. Oh, that's so cute, Abby. That's so sweet. I have watched Sim streamers, and I think it's really cool. Yeah, I'm doing Sims 4 and finding a lot of mods and stuff like that that make the interior design aspect of it so much fun. I love interior design so much that when I'm playing it, I almost wish that I could gather like clients and be like, hey, I'm going to I'm going to build your apartment or your house in Sims, and I'm going to show you how I would decorate it. Like, that would be so much fun. I know that AutoCAD is a program that people use for that, but I would love to do it in Sims. Thank you so much. Hey, Joe, I didn't know you were in here. Thank you. Yes, things are busy in here. My living room is cooler. If you guys watched my new set video, you saw pictures of my living room. And you know, the older I get and the more I move into like bigger spaces and refine my taste, the more it's going to look more like I want. And sketching and drawing, I'm okay at. You know, I did have to do a good bit of that when I was in school for interior design. Who's copying you? Do I want kids? No, actually. And I'm already 34, so I don't see that changing. So yeah, gaming is something that I would like to eventually be able to do. Of course, right now is not an option because it's just, yeah, building is like fun. It's the most fun part. Like, why do anything more than that if you don't want to? Oh, thank you, Logan, for being here since 1,000 subs. What was I like at 24? At 24, I was still drinking. I will say at 24, so that was 2010. So I was getting to the point where I think, aw, thank you, Louisa. I think I was getting to the point where I was almost getting tired of my life in active alcoholic addiction or whatever. So I was starting to want to like build my life again. So at 25 is when things really started to come together. I didn't know what you just said, the person who said that we're copying you. Hi, Hot Tea, you're gorgeous. I had my hair up in like little space buns before this, and I looked in the mirror and I was like, I feel ridiculous. I don't feel as casual as I want to be. I only did interior design in school for a little bit, and then I realized like it involved too much like HVAC and like stuff that I didn't understand. And astrology's cool. I don't really like get invested in it. I can make the space buns look really cool. I just didn't feel natural, and I think I just want to be really relaxed. I'm a Scorpio. Yeah, space buns are cute. I actually have a picture somewhere on my Instagram where I'm wearing them, and it is cute. I don't know about hairstyles. I feel like I always have to switch it up, and so every time I go to record a video, I'm just like, I don't know what to do with my hair with this one. I'm doing great, you guys. So, do we want a quick mental health update? Because I would not mind telling you guys where I am with that, but because I have ENFJ is my Myers-Briggs type, and I love Myers-Briggs. I would love to have a whole conversation about it. But since I have so many of you guys in one room, I want to ask a favor of you, and dead serious, like please take this to heart. I love when you guys ask me how I'm doing. That is in no way offensive. That is very much something that I take as coming from love from you guys, and it means the world to me when you guys ask how I'm doing. One thing that a couple of creators whose channels or platforms are bigger than mine, who are in the mental health space, have, oh, INFPs are the sweetest. My little sister's an INFP. Something that a couple of other channels have talked to me about, or another channel brought to my attention is, hear me out, you guys, that if you do talk about mental health on your channel, be prepared for your subscribers to be worried about you often. And that is one of those things that's so bittersweet, because you know that I do fine with the haters these days, right? Like, somebody wants to come on my channel and shit on me, like, thank you, basic bitch. You know, if haters want to come on my channel, fine. You know, I will or will not acknowledge them, but we'll, you know, we can move on from that. What's really difficult is when there's any sort of disagreement between me and messages I'm getting from my supporters, and I want to be very careful about how thank you, Sierra, about how I approach topics with you guys. So when it comes to mental health, I don't mind at all you guys asking, like, hey, how are you doing these days? Like, because you guys know that, especially with quarantine and me being in complete isolation, it goes up and down. But what I what I ask the most of you guys, and whether or not you honor this or not is up to you. But if I tell you guys that I'm doing what's best for me, please trust me. So as an example, last night I came to the decision that I was putting too much pressure on myself to finish my book for book club and to get my next Trisha video out. I said, I finally last night decided I've been going through too much the past week, and I need to buy myself probably another week. So I put that message out to you guys. Okay, Libby, I know it's late over there, and you always do your best, and we'll see you in the next chat. Where was I? So yeah, so I knew that I didn't need to ask you guys for permission to take that time. I want to, and maybe I shouldn't be so I guess polite or careful, but when I do come out and say, hey, you guys, I hate to ask for an extension, but I may have to wait another week, that's me wanting to show that I am mindful of you guys' time and your expectations. I know that you support me doing what I need to do. That's why you guys are the best audience. You guys and Joe's audience. But you guys are the best audience because you do make sure that I am putting me first. So I appreciate that about you guys. Please know that by me asking was not, I was going to take that time no matter what, but by me asking was just my way of saying to you guys, like, I recognize that this does, impact you guys and what you're expecting from me and all that. But you guys know I have to do what I have to do. So, but what I ask of you is that if I tell you I'm doing what I feel I need to do, please don't say things to me like, should you really be doing this right now? Things like that. I'm really concerned, maybe you shouldn't be on the internet. I'm streaming right now, I'm not sure. So those are the types of comments that, if I'm being honest, kind of hurt my feelings because I guess because I expect you guys to think that, to understand how real I'm being on camera. Thank you. I just finished them, Rain, last night. I think that's what it is because when one of my subscribers comes into my comments and says like, hey, I'm really concerned about you because I don't think that you should be on the internet. I don't think you should be making videos. I don't think you should be doing live streams. Like, you need to take this time. It not only kind of poses as my therapist. My hair is kind of dyed, but it's my natural color at the same time. It's crazy. Yeah, I know what's best for me. So, for instance, if this live stream were a pressure and this were not good for me, I wouldn't do it. So I just ask that you guys trust me that I have a lot of checks and balances in place to make sure that I'm doing the things that are best for me. Hello, Puerto Rico, Gabriella. We're talking, hi Lilith, we're talking about how I'm doing. But my just to cut it short, I need to be direct with you guys. Please do not pose questions that I would say would be appropriate for a therapist, or comments like maybe you shouldn't be on the internet. Feel free to ask me how I'm doing. Feel free to send me your love. All of that. I love it so much. But just, that's the one thing that I ask. And if you can't tell the difference, then forget everything I just said. I know you guys mean well. But if you guys know what I'm saying, please give me some indication, whether that be a thumbs up or an exclamation point or something, because that is a message that I've been wanting to get out since I got very vulnerable with you guys a few videos ago. You're a real one for this. Oh, thank you for the indications, you guys. That means I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. That means so much to me that you guys are recognizing that. Yes, you guys, I love you so much. I love this. You guys are fantastic. Kitty walked away to go snack. He'll be back, I'm sure. Or Atticus will be back. Poop. I'm taking the poop to mean that you understand. Yay! Hi. I'm just like loving all these messages. Sorry, I'm not talking. I love you guys too. Yeah, you guys can always ask how I'm doing, but just please don't tell me what you think I should be doing. I guess that's the quickest, the most concise way to put it. Used to dislike, but now you're a fan. Hey, cool. I'll take that. And you know what, Sophia? That says a lot about you, because my channel is a little bit tricky in that I don't take hard stances, or, you know, I do encourage disagreement in my channel, but we do respect disagreement as long as it is done respectfully, right? And so we do see a lot of people change their minds. There are some people that come to my channel and they're like, yes, yes, I agree, but then the moment I say something they disagree with, they're gone. And that's totally fine. That is totally fine if somebody wants to leave my channel because they don't agree with what I'm saying. But my loyal subscribers are the people who stay here whether we agree on everything or not, because you guys understand that critical thinking is not about agreeing on everything. It's quite the opposite. Hey, Caroline. You guys recognize, yes, I was nervous to, well, I was nervous to film. Yeah, so Sophia, I appreciate you sticking around to at least hear out what I have to say. And if one day you decide that you don't like me after all, like, that's okay too. We don't all, no, Gabby's never gonna acknowledge me. So, and yeah, I appreciate you guys, like, taking in my viewpoint and being like, hey, that's what she has to think, and if you want to disagree respectfully, that's fine. If you just want to move on and be like, you know what, don't feel the same way, and that's okay. Oh wow, started hate watching. You're really showing, you're letting it all out there. So thanks for stopping by, EF. But just to tell you guys more or less how I'm feeling, I don't know how many of you guys have kept up with, no, but I want to watch the Colleen Ballinger drama. I've been busy and I've seen that, thumbnail keep popping up. I can't keep up with some of these longer messages. I'm sorry. No, Sophia, I really appreciate your honesty here, because, you know, I know that there are hate watchers out there, but to tell me that, like, you were one of them and now you watch from a place of appreciation, that means the world to me. Like, as a commentator, doesn't it mean the world to have somebody start to see things from your perspective? That's huge. But to answer the question about how I'm doing a little bit better today than I was yesterday. And that, you guys know, in the mental health world is huge. I will say, I've always gotten weird vibes from Colleen in the first place, so I'm not going to be too terribly surprised by what I find, I think. I can scroll back up on the yeah, but they're just moving so quickly that while I'm talking, that I don't know if it's even logistically the best idea. Just so you guys know too, we are going to get a moderator here soon, because we know we had like a little creeper last time. So and you guys, like, if you don't know what Colleen and people are talking about, just do a quick search. Things will pop up and it'll make sense. Who's rude? Was I rude? I sure hope not. I don't ever try to be rude to you guys. No, I don't speak Polish, unfortunately. So yeah, here he's back. I told you he'd be back. My boys are so happy that I'm here. Big, difficult, impossible to have relationships with people with low self. Oh yeah, it's totally impossible. It's almost impossible to have friendships with people who have little self-awareness. When that is something that you value above almost everything, then you want to surround yourself by people who value that as well, you know? Yes. And he's my old man too. I'm surprised that, like, of course we've got the diabetes thing going on. Joaquin Phoenix now loves Oliver. But other than that, he's just such a healthy boy. I'm so proud of him. But yeah, I was dealing with a lot of anxiety. This is Oliver, and then my little ginger boy is Atticus. low self-esteem and you felt attacked. I don't think I said that about anybody, but yeah, I hope that something cleared that up. He is handsome. He's a little scraggly because sometimes the boyfriend and I have to give him little haircuts on like his tail and stuff where he's getting mats, and then around his mane here, sometimes I have to give him little haircuts because it gets a little nasty. He's getting old. I need to finish my answer before. I had a lot of bad anxiety last week. Then I had he might be a Maine Coon mix. I had a bit of like a crash, an energy thing where I was really just like kind of had a hard time moving over the weekend and on Monday. Met with a new psychiatrist, made some changes to my medications, and so I'm starting to feel a little bit more strength coming back. I was able to do a tiny little workout today, which I haven't done all quarantine. I haven't been to Europe. I would love to be. So do you guys want to know what might be in the works? Like, it might be a little premature to say, but I kind of would like to share. Low self-awareness, but I thought you were going to say low self-esteem. No, low self-esteem is something that I think a lot of us struggle with. Self-awareness is something entirely different. And I think the people who watch my videos typically have a high sense of self-awareness. And I can tell by the way you guys talk in the comments that that perhaps some of us are too self-aware. And that's kind of where the whole self-consciousness comes into play. Oh, wow, Jeanette. I just read that about thank goodness your cat lived. Jeff, I just watched a Jeffrey interview for the second time, and what's the tea? Oh, and that's the tea. Okay. Be able to remove your cat when he licks. He's only cleaning his paw. He's not doing anything inappropriate. He's just cleaning his little hands. He's reminding everyone to wash your hands. Macy, I don't know how to perceive it. I feel like it's easy for me to look at another creator and be like, oh wow, like this is how much they've grown in this time. And maybe I just never really watched a ton of creators that were this small, but he's a clean boy. But I don't know how to perceive my growth and how fast it is. I do think that I've had to learn certain skills in a very short time span. I've had to learn how to deal with hate comments very, very fast. Stay humble. Thank you. I don't know that I know any other way, and I don't want that to be like a weird humble brag. But I don't feel like I deserve you guys, and I don't know that will ever change. My forearm just says, you're guiltless and free. And if you want to know all the meanings of all my tattoos, you can watch the last one. I go into like depth about them. I do look at my social blade, but even then it's like, it's hard to tell how you compare to other channels that maybe are the same size, because even then there are just so many creators on the platform that it'll tell you like, oh, you're the 3 millionth most successful YouTuber, and I'm like, that doesn't sound great. As for, I don't want to do tattoos here just because we covered that in the last one. I would love to talk about other stuff. So no disrespect to you guys. I just think that you'll find what you're looking for if you do give that other video a watch. Do I like writing? I do. I haven't gotten a chance too much. One thing I was going to do at one point was maybe I should write a memoir, even though I'm like, why would anybody want to read a memoir that I wrote? But that has actually been able to, those stories that I wanted to write, hey Gemma from New Zealand, I have been able to kind of incorporate those into my YouTube channel. So yeah, that's kind of been working. So what did I want to talk about? So I'm thinking, and I know it's a little early, but it's something that I've always wanted to do, and I know a lot of people want to do it, but I think few people pull the trigger. I want to start a podcast, even if it is a very like amateur looking podcast. And I do have a YouTube friend that I made early on in this, and we're thinking, and she's in Canada, and we're trying to think of a way that we could do this remotely and still make it look and sound really professional, because we found that, let me tell you the little backstory, but I'm sure we'll talk about it when we do this. She and I actually started in my comments in one of my videos where she had a disagreement with me. So she and I kind of went back and forth, disagreeing on something, and really worked that out. And from working that out, we became friends. And so now when other stuff comes up, I'm not married, I have a boyfriend though. So when topics have come up like the Team Pinata stuff, the Jeffrey and Davi vanity stuff, when or this whole like minor attracted people, these subjects come up, she and I will talk at length, and we'll be in like voice memos, or we'll get on the phone for 2 hours. And I think it's just about time that we find a way to just like hop on a Zoom call for now, or find ways that we can record these conversations we're having so that you guys can hear like my deepest, darkest thoughts about all this stuff. Deepest, darkest is not the right way to put it, but you know what I mean. Like really diving into what I have to say versus what I would say in kind of a more professional setting when I'm doing my commentary videos. No need to compare yourself, though. You bring diversity and critical thinking. Thank you. Which video made me cry? Oh, agoraphobia? I don't think that was my video. Can you ask who she is? Her name is Ambrin. I don't know if she's posted any videos to her channel yet, but she will be eventually. And then I actually have my friend nearby. She and I started a company. Well, I started a company with somebody else that was supposed to be in the focus on the dating world in DC and kind of being advisors in the dating world. And I brought my friend into this company, and then she and I were not working out essentially with the other half of the team, and we left that company behind, which really sucked because, oh, I see. Maybe I'll have to check out that Anthony Padilla video. But yeah, that company, essentially, I had to leave behind because it was just not good for my mental health, and I didn't see it progressing, which sucked because it was my idea from the first place, and it was my baby from the get-go. So we had to leave it behind, but we talked, and I said, if we decide to do some sort of podcast, we could talk about these dating issues. We could give people advice. We could have people send in their questions just like we would have done here with this, basically kind of like a dating coach service. We could still do that in podcast form, and that way we can still not feel like we're leaving behind a project like that. Oh yeah, our chats always have good positive vibes. Thank you, Deej. So I've thought about doing a podcast with that friend too, and you guys know me, I can be a little bit snarky sometimes. It's almost a way to stick it to the people who, kind of stole that dream from me. At the same time, I'm glad that this is working out this way, because this is so much better than what I imagined for that company. But that's what we want to do. We want to give advice on dating, love, romance, and relationships in general, communication, stuff like that. So I want to figure out if I want to make that all the same podcast. Do I create 2 podcasts? We'll see. We'll see how we do that. But I definitely want to have a place where Ambrin and I can talk about these topics and really just go in depth in terms of, I know you guys like just a little bit of snark from me. Yeah. He's my sweet boy. Did you hear him? On podcast and then have them as regular guests. Yeah, I've thought about that. Maybe it be my podcast technically, and then sometimes I have one, and then sometimes I have another, and you guys know that if Ambrin is on, we're going to be talking about social issues, and if Christina is on, we'll be talking about dating and love, and I think that could work too. I'd like to know what you guys think. I haven't heard of Lily Jean, no. I like that some of you are saying that you like this idea, and I do like bouncing ideas off of you guys, because ultimately it's you guys whose opinions matter. So, it's all, doing the whole online world, there are so many different things that you can do, and there's so many elements of this that appeal to me that are essentially a collection of hobbies that I would want to take on, but I would need for it to be my full-time job in order to really manage all of them. But in the meantime, I have to just hustle my ass off so that I can get to that point that it's my full-time. I've been with my boyfriend a little over 2 years. Yes, the Trisha, if you check the community tab, my recent post, we had to push off the Trish video to next week just because this past week was a little too difficult on me. How do I balance other people's ideas and my own when making a video? And how long have I lived in DC? Virginia, DC area for 12 years, DC proper for 9 years. And balancing ideas for videos, like I will get so many requests for the same topic, and there's something about that tells me maybe I do need to cover it, because so many people are asking at the same time. If I don't feel in my heart that I have anything valuable to bring to that conversation, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to, and it might sound like I'm throwing some shade at drama channels a little bit here, but you guys know the drama channels, and this drama channel and that drama channel and the other. You realize that if you see like Jeffree Star, right, is the topic on this channel, this channel, this channel, and this channel, you can be pretty sure that you're going to hear the same information on all those channels, right? So I don't want to get on my camera. She's the girl who's pretty much faked an entire career and fan base. Recently, she's been saying she's really concerned concerning stuff, and I think it would be interesting to hear your thoughts. Oh, interesting. Maybe that would be a video, Alex. But yeah, but just to return to what I was saying, if I were to sit in front of my camera and tell you guys, so Shallon Lester, she says all these like untrue and like controversial things, and she says things that are insensitive about this celebrity and that celebrity, and that's wrong. Like, you guys aren't going to get anything insightful out of that. You've heard that in a million drama channels. So I would really have to think about that and see if there's anything different that I could bring to the table. And I will say, Joe, I don't know if you're still in this chat, but Joe, Footless Joe, she's got a bigger channel called Footless Joe, and her kind of secondary channel, which is Trauma Talk. I saw that she did a video on Shallon Lester, and because she is a mental health channel, or that channel is, it really did start to hit home a little more and say, okay, there might be something in this Shallon Lester kind of controversy that I might be able to pull something from and actually give insights to. It's just, yeah, Kim, that's how I feel unless I can bring something new. And maybe I can. But that's also going to require me to actually take the time to look into this lady's video. So maybe. But I do have a lot of requests from a lot of people, but I will say that is the main one that people are asking me right now. Thoughts on Joe Rogan? I mean, I like him. He's smart. I used to watch his podcast a lot. I think he gets a little big for his britches, and I think he talks over his guests who tend to be like experts in their fields, and kind of talks down to them at times. So that kind of rubs me wrong a little bit. I do feel like he's definitely like really popular with the dudes. I think like not to be stereotypical, but I do think guys really tend to like his podcast. My boyfriend loves him. Gigi Gorgeous, I don't really watch, so I don't really have. I'm not going to sing for you here, but I am on Smeal Karaoke, and by the same username. And I just ask that you be nice, because I never claim to be a good singer. But it is something I love to do. In fact, maybe I'll do that tonight, just as something to just make this night even better. I will say that talking to you guys on live the other night just made me feel so, so good. How do I do my makeup? The same way everyone else does, I'm sure. Do you love romance, like in general? I mean, I love love. I love being in love. Romance movies and stuff like that, sure. Susie Lou, I don't know anything about that. Viewer interaction. Oh my God, I love interacting with you guys. It is the most fun. And part of that is you know, we're in a weird time, right? Where so much of our lives are already online. Forget the quarantine. Lives are already online. And you guys have heard me talk about DC and how difficult it is to maintain a friend group here. And at the same time, as much as I love to be home, I am a homebody. I want to work from home. I want to work on all my projects. Like half the time I'm home, I want to be working on my apartment. But at the same time, I'm an extrovert. So getting a chance to get on camera and talk to you guys and just like fire off questions, 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 and keeping up with you guys, that is so energizing to me. Aliens, I don't know. Like, can we really rule them out? No, but I don't think about it much. Yeah, I do feel like I'm buddies with a lot of you guys, or at least want to treat you guys as such when you talk to me. I mean, I do think of you all as people just as valuable as I am. So, you know, I want to make sure that I'm valuing what you have to say. Exactly the same. Oh, thank you, JJ, for saying that. Paranormal, yeah, I do believe in a lot of paranormal stuff. Anything tattoo related, you guys go back to the last live stream and I go really in depth about it. Yeah, I mean, I'm extroverted, but in general, in real life, I can be kind of shy. You know, one of the things that I was really interested in, I thought maybe I should just do a video about it because I was so obsessed with it for a little while, was the Elisa Lam story about the girl that went missing and then was found in the water tank of the Cecil Hotel. Like, I'm interested in like paranormal / mystery / anything that involves like drugs or science, forensics and stuff like that. I love that. So it might be a little out of place on my channel. I feel like my hair is uneven, like this side's longer. Okay, if you guys want me to do a video on her, then maybe I will. Everybody's talking about AutoCAD because I talked about interior design and how I wanted to use Sims as a means of interior design with clients. And then we were talking about how AutoCAD is the program that architects and interior designers use. Oh my God, April, you and I should have been friends a few months ago when I just got so deep in it. I don't actually listen to a lot of podcasts. I like watching podcasts. That's why if I do a podcast, I want it to have a video element. I really thrive off of the body language of the people talking. I can't keep up with just listening. Paranormal stuff. Actually just watched a video. Ooh, paranormal around Brittany Murphy. I love Brittany Murphy. Miss her so much. Ooh, I would love to watch the Stephanie Harlow video on Elisa Lam. I would also hate to feel like I'm recreating her video when people already think we look alike. Yeah, Brittany Murphy was like a little sweetheart, and it was really, really sad to see her go. Look at me almost like crying. Yeah, she was beautiful. You could tell that she was just a good soul and that she just got probably caught up in the wrong circumstances, and that was really sad. Yeah, I know you guys want to see a true crime from me. I'm just not sure. Like, I think that comes from seeing other people with, like, my vibe doing that. I'm not sure that that's something that I would have a lot to talk about. I might be able to come on and be like, hey, guys, this is the Netflix documentary I watched, and this is what I thought. But I would still probably have to be commentary style, reaction style type of stuff, because at the end of the day, my channel is social commentary and mental health. Yeah, a lot of those celebrities was sad. Hello, fellow ENFJ. Of course I watched Tiger King. Yeah, there was so much, just so much. I feel like each one of those episodes could have been expanded into a 3-hour part or a 3-hour series or something like that, and just each story dove into, like, why did they kind of gloss over that sex cult thing? Like, there are just so many elements that I would have loved to have gotten more. Of course Carol Baskin killed her husband. Are you kidding me? Really? And I'm not trying to make fun of you. I just think that most people feel pretty much the same. Dystopic fiction novels. Handmaid's Tale I'm interested in. I keep starting the show and I keep losing track. The concept interests me, but I have never really stuck with a book. I am going to read 1984 because I want to get back to classic literature. I have read A Brave New World. Um, mm, they're going very fast. But no, I wouldn't say dystopian fiction is like something that I read a lot of, because what I like to read a lot of stuff that I can imagine being very real. I think realness is what I love the most. So if you want to know like my favorite type of book, it is addiction memoir. I love to read stories about people when they were in the throes of their addiction. Hey Atticus, they're saying hi to you, buddy. Um, Oliver's the alpha because he's the oldest, and he's kind of always taken um, he's always taken like a maternal role with kittens that have come along. So he is the alpha in that he takes care of the other cats while they're kittens, and occasionally gives Atticus ear baths, and Atticus does understand that there is a power hierarchy, and Atticus respects that. But Atticus is the one that has a lot of energy, and he loves to play. He does headbutts. Whereas Oliver likes to, like, he'll lie down on my chest and he'll lick my nose and he'll let me hold him over my shoulder. Atticus is a little bit more like on the go, gotta go, gotta go. But then he likes to cuddle and, like I said, headbutt me. Yeah, addiction memoir are the best for me. So the more real they are, the more they engage my emotions. And I love a book that's going to make me cry, like cry my heart out. Yeah, technically he was named after Atticus Finch, although I never finished the book. That is another one that I need to finish, and that's what book club is all about. And it's funny because, you know, Oliver has a literary name too, Oliver Twist. So, and they both sound kind of British, and I love it. I'm a bit of an Anglophile. Hi, Cassie. Addiction memoir. Nick Sheff has some great books. If you like the scientific aspect of it, Memoirs of an Addicted Brain is one by Mark Lewis, where he really goes into the neuroscience of what every single drug does to the brain. He has tried everything, so he talks about his experience trying it, and then he talks about like what is actually happening in the brain with these chemicals. Fascinating. Amy Dresner, she wrote a book called My Fair Junkie, which is kind of just your standard like war stories and just like how like deep down a hole, you know, a woman can go, I think, living in LA. The Night of the Gun I have on my nightstand. We haven't started that yet. There are a bunch. There are a bunch that I really like. I could give you guys a whole list. Have for dinner. I'm probably going to have a chicken tamale. Oh, let me plug my phone in. Oh, basic bitch, I love you guys over there. Thoughts on Lindsay Lohan? Haven't kept up with her in so many years. Let me get my charger really quick. Plug you guys in. Oh my goodness. Hi, Jason. Jason works with me. Jason, didn't you get enough of me during the workday? We were talking about books. Classic lit, yeah. I want to make a move back into classic literature. So, like I said, I'm working through a list of unread books. So a lot of those are going to be memoirs, some kind of more recent fiction. But then once I start buying books again, I'm really going to like get back into the classics, because I'm realizing that I'm getting older. And so before I die, I want to make sure that I've read a lot of the classics, or reread the ones that we read in high school but didn't really read, you know. Mental health, especially. I can't say specifically for BPD because that's not something that I know personally. But, you know, any sort of mental health memoir I feel like helps people feel not alone. Or, like I recommended How to Be Human. It's not exactly like, doesn't really speak to diagnoses, but How to Be Human, Mentors by Russell Brand. The Happiness Project, it was a little cheesy, self-helpy, but there were a couple of good snippets in there. And those books will be more along the lines of like philosophy and being happy and accepting yourself and things like that. Hey, Fat Sajak. You're a nice good person. Thank you. Okay, Shelby, happy dinner to you. Journaling, I haven't done it in so long. It kind of goes along the same lines of writing, is that I started to do it and then found that I think my thoughts work faster than my fingers on a keyboard. So speaking them to a camera might just be my mode of journaling. I will say that if I am not happy with somebody, if I take the time, like, you know, when you're fiery angry, and you're not too late. Oh, we're an hour in. If I were a writer, I would talk about my life. There's a lot more than I think than meets the eye. But if I am in a situation where I'm upset with somebody and I want to argue, but I know that it's not the time to argue, I'll just go ahead and like write an email that'll never be sent, you know? And that's kind of a form of journaling. Oh, Eli, I'm happy that this has helped. Well, you guys are not going to read about my life as much as you're going to hear about it on YouTube. That's funny, Emma. I do that. I read comments here forgetting and thinking you guys are also like with me on that. No, I can't play instruments. I have a ukulele and I kind of like practiced with it for a while in 2014, but I never got good at it. Psychology-based videos. I think a lot of my videos, they at least have a psychology element to it. A lot of times when I talk about brain stuff, especially, which is a mix of psychology and neuroscience, and then when I talk about human behavior, that's a good mix of psychology with sociology. But I think a lot of my videos, if you can look at it through the lens I am, it's mostly psychology. And philosophy, a little bit of that too. Thank you, Mitchell. Book video? Well, I did in Ask Alicia talk about some books that I liked. Yeah, Nick Sheff's books are really good. They're very detailed and they're not for the faint of heart. I did watch I saw the movie with Steve Carell based on Beautiful Boy. I felt meh about it. Who says brain stuff? I always have to warn you guys too when I'm like, guys, I'm going to talk about brain stuff. Bye, Emma. Yeah, social psych is so fascinating. I'm sad that this isn't what I studied in school. Oh, you discovered me today, Jenna. Welcome. I'm so excited. Neurological based books I can recommend. I would just start with the Mark Lewis Memoirs of an Addicted Brain. Hi, DC. How often do I think my streams will be? You got to consider quarantine versus outside of quarantine, because when we're not in quarantine, I'm going to have to balance my YouTube career and then also these projects like podcasts and Patreon and all of that with my full-time job. So that's something to keep in mind. During quarantine though, I don't study. I'm not in school. I haven't been for a long time. During quarantine, I'm doing a good bit of live streams. So on Patreon, we do the $5 tier, which is called the Oliver tier. We do several live streams a week. I haven't done a ton this week because my patrons know that it's been hard catching up from the past week. But they do get like vlogs, walking vlogs, a few times a week. And then we have live streams a few times a week. And then once a month, we have a live stream with all of the people in the $1 tier and up. But we do have a ton of live streams over there, and it's a smaller community, so it's not as fast paced here, and we kind of all, what about weight? I don't know what that was about. Bye, Nethra. Am I a fashion lady? In ways. That's tricky. Aw, thank you, Sar. I forgot what I was even saying. So yeah, but in terms of these live streams, they're a completely different thing, and I have a lot of fun. Oh, I'm not one to talk to about losing weight. That's just not. In fact, I'm gaining weight during all of this, and because of my mental health and that having to be number one, and keeping on top of mental health, plus keeping on top of my job, plus trying to make sure that I at least feed something to my YouTube channel, I need to go easy on myself and not focus on my weight. So it's more for me about kind of just accepting myself, because there's so much more to me than my weight. So, you know, it's... Thank you, Agata, for liking my outfits. Yeah, I think everybody's gaining weight during this time, and so that takes the pressure off, right? How do I find you on Patreon? Just go to patreon.com/helloleesh, or I think if you search helloleesh. I think in my last couple of videos, the link is at the top in the description. Patreon.com/helloleesh. And there, you know, if you guys just want to support, I tell you guys, you really don't need to like do the $1 tier just to show support. You guys really don't need to do that. If you want to join for the monthly live chat, sure. If you want to join the $5 tier for what's there, then you guys can know that there is a lot there. We have a book club. So we will monthly meet to talk about the book that we decided on reading that month. We do have frequent live streams, and I do several, oh, thank you, sir. I do frequent little vlogs that will be anywhere between like 10 and 30 minutes, where I really kind of give more personal information about what's going on in my life than what I would feel comfortable sharing on publicly on YouTube. So yeah, Lexi, is that your name? Yeah, we have one, so let's do it. Let's keep this rolling till tomorrow, Caroline, you're crazy. Oh, hi, Daniel. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, I don't think that I think people come into my content thinking like, oh, another drama channel. What does she have to say? And find that I don't think that I'm at all like, oh, your wife. After you make 5 million, can I quit everything? What does that mean? 5 million subscribers? I'm not sure that somebody with my my kind of content would get to that level. Who knows? PewDiePie does commentary, right? Thank you, AJ. Yeah, it's just, I think it's just a very different type of video than drama channels. Yeah, Sienna, I think it's something that you kind of just have to feel out and think about like what you would want to offer your subscribers. Things that I do too is like we talk a lot about mental health, especially on Patreon. We talk a lot about mental health and want to make sure that that's a good community for people to feel safe. So like the other day, I posted links that are like hacks that I found for like anxiety and headaches and stuff like that. Oh, thank you, Joe. So I do try to provide my patrons with at least things that I've come across that help me. I used to watch Katie Morton a little bit. I mean, of course, she's got a lot of good informational stuff on her channel, especially any therapist that'll take the time to explain the brain to you, and especially how the limbic system works. I find that stuff to be so, so helpful. How I got here, but I must say you're very attractive. Well, thank you. Tiffany Ferguson. No, I've never heard of her. Maybe I'll have to check her out. Oh, Alexis Lee, I see. No worries, Joe, no worries. I think that there's plenty going on over here, and now we're doing some pretty frequent live streams. Slightly older demo. Yeah, I do get a slightly older demographic, and I like that. And that was almost kind of... aside from the fact that I started my channel just for me, right? Then I noticed that people started watching. It was really to say, hey, like, I'm somebody who's a little older than your typical viewer. And so that's why I don't have anybody to talk to about YouTube stuff. So if there's anybody else out there who feels the same way, like, let's talk about it. So I do like that my audience is a little bit older than your typical. My demographic tends to be, I haven't checked it in a long time, but it tends to be, for the most part, women between 18 to 34 or 35 or something like that. So, Yeah, and you guys are kind of confirming that. So I like that because it means that we're able to work with an age bracket that's a little more mature than the rest of the YouTube audience. And not only that, but just because of my kind of content, I attract people who, hi Animosity Kate, I notice you. You say you leave a lot of very sweet. Jason, we will play video games another time, one of these days when I have time. I don't know when that'll be. But yeah, I think I do attract an audience that is not only a little older, but a little bit more introspective and self-aware, and interested in having kind of deeper conversations and really like picking apart human behavior so that we can better ourselves. And it's funny because that's not too far removed from what gossip is. But I think when you look at situations and really break them down to see if you can boil it down to a lesson, or something to carry with you in your everyday life, and you know, really think about and use it to better your own life, then I think it's very valuable, and I think that that's what we do on my channel. How do you handle these subtle compliments? Well, get used to it, because I give them a lot. I think highly of you guys. So, closer to your age, aside from thrifting. Yeah, I feel a little bit weird with the YouTubers I like, because I find myself like, oh, I love these people. I wish I could be friends with them. And then I'm like, at their oldest, they're like maybe 28, which is, you know, friend age for me, but a lot of them are like 22, 23. Consider making a video about, I'm not sure who Charles Gross is. Oh, thank you, AJ. I do respect you guys. I put a lot of value into what you guys think. All right, Crystal. I mean, we're not gonna keep this going for too terribly much longer anyway. Yeah, I mean, Jenna Marbles, who doesn't love her? I don't, anime is not really anything that I've gotten into. Yeah. Yeah, Joe, I mean, that makes sense. Then that makes sense that why you like my channel. But there's not a lot of ton of people like you and me on YouTube. But I think I might be attracting those of us that are there, which is exciting. Or it might be, thank you, Ingrid. It might be that there are a lot more people like us on YouTube, and there are just not a lot of creators that are making the content that we're looking for. And that might, honestly, like, if I really try to acknowledge that I've grown pretty fast, it might be because there was a void there, and now people are finding out, and really kind of becoming drawn to these conversations. Because it's never, thank you, Andrea, it's never really just about what I think. It's more about having a conversation. DC is fantastic. I love it. It's amazing. It's beautiful. But a lot of people here complain about it. So you have to be prepared to pay a lot in rent and really enjoy the city if you're going to be here. I think you answered your own question, Caroline. I think because Jenna Marbles is so unproblematic and is herself, I think that is what creates her staying power. Not only that, actually, I'll analyze it. I didn't like Jenna Marbles at first. And when I say at first, I mean that I have been watching. Did you hear Oliver's little, he's sleeping and he kind of like whined in his dream. Oh, I didn't get to see that. Look at him. He's so cute. So with Jenna Marbles, when I say I didn't really like her at first, I'm talking about back when I first started, yeah, that is a very Jenna thing. When I really first started watching YouTube, so I'm talking about like 2007 to 2010, that time frame, I didn't really like her. I saw a couple of videos and she was like talking shit about her roommate, I think, and stuff like that. And I thought, nah, this girl's really not my cup of tea. And then here recently, and when I say recently, it's like maybe within the past year or two, she talked about, and I think this is funny because it goes back to the conversation about us attracting, creators attracting audience members that are like us. I'm not necessarily saying Jenna was on YouTube in 2007. I'm saying when I started watching YouTube in those early days, she joined around that time. But she has talked about, oh, John. Um, she has talked about how in meet and greets, sorry, challenges all your viewers to dance. Oh. Um, Jenna recently shed some light on how in meet and greets early on in her career, um, she said it was weird because girls would come up to me and they would be like, "Hey bitch, how you doing, bitch? Whatever, bitch." And she said, like, she would walk away being like, why are people talking to me like this? Like, hi Jenna. She was like, this is not me. Like, and I think she said that she had her own realization, that I wish I could kick somebody out right now. Yeah, Caroline, you get it. So I think she had a realization that she was not being herself, on her channel. So I think that she did go through a transformational period and away from like the Barstool sports type of stuff and became more of her true, quirky, weird, likable self. And I think that's when she really started to grow. And I think because I think she's got a lot, she balances her life really well. I think that she's found a partner that is just a perfect match for her. I think that from what I can tell, they have a fantastic relationship and they're able to work together and they support each other in that. I think that she has found, and this is all speculation, but this is what it looks like, right? It looks like she has found a very good balance in how to live her life but still continue to feed her audience, bits and glimpses into her life. Oh, thank you, Joe. um, and so I think that that's where the lasting power comes from, because she's not trying too hard. She does like a goofy experiment every couple of weeks, and then sometimes it's just a tour of her plants, or sometimes it's just an update on the dogs. So I think that keeps I think it probably keeps her stress lower and allows her to live her life. And with that, you're not going to see the burnout that, unfortunately, I'm afraid like people like David Dobrik are going to experience one day. Thank you, Kate. I just did this last night because I'm thinking I might film tomorrow. We'll see. Yeah, we don't expect much in the way of the type of content, right? We come back for who she is. And Julian is everything. He is just, I think everybody wants him as a best friend. Aw, thank you, Octopi. Yeah, so I really do like look up to somebody like Jenna, and I would love for, sometimes I look at me and Jake and I think like, how nice to live the Jenna and Julian life one day. Thank you. About Mark from Canada. Her main channel videos, but her podcast is so fun. That's funny. I started watching her podcast a couple years ago, and then I stopped watching that and started watching the main channel videos. I know. I am gonna get a mod. I am telling you guys now, but I wanted to continue to do these live streams before I set that up, because I haven't gotten there yet. But I still want to do these lives. What device was I using? I was using a computer. Yeah, I was 2007, and then 2008 was when I got my first like big girl out of college job, and it was so boring. That I watched YouTube videos all day at work. So yeah, that's the tea on that. And at that time it was just, I remember it was like Kasim G, Shay Tards, Philip DeFranco. Thank you to anybody binging my videos. Thank you, Soph. Yeah, I'm really not a tea or a drama channel. I think that's why when people expect that, they tend to be a little bit refreshed. Yeah, Caroline, I'm gonna have to designate a moderator to be able to do that since I can't keep up with that at the same time that I'm talking. It's gonna come. You guys, we'll be good. I mean, I think we don't need to spend too much energy talking about it right now. Um, yeah, go ahead and binge them now if you want, but you're gonna reach the end pretty quickly because I've only been at this for like 2.5 months. Yeah, I still watch Philip DeFranco, and I'm very, very happy with his evolution. I watched him before when he was first on the scene, and to be honest, he wasn't all that likable, and I think he says the same. And he was very clickbaity, and at the time you could get away. I remember Toby Turner did a lot too. If you just put the term "hot girl" in your title, and if you somehow got a girl in your video, even for a split second, and put her in your thumbnail, that that was the clickbaity thing at that time. And Toby did it a lot, and Philip did it a lot, and it just kind of like it gave kind of like a skeezy vibe. But okay. But yeah, I think that Philip has evolved and has come to realize that people value his thoughts, and he doesn't need to do things like that. And he's become a pretty exceptional reporter for somebody who doesn't have that sort of background. So I think that his show is great for young people to kind of digest the news. I think he does a pretty good job of keeping a centrist stance. He doesn't, a lot of YouTube is very liberal and left, and I am too. So I mean, I enjoy a lot of it, but I do think that it is important. Atticus Dale. I do think it is important to hear people that have sort of a neutral stance, that don't takes too much of a biased stance on these things. So that's kind of what I bring you guys. I don't have a hero. So yeah, clickbait is, I think, on its way out, probably. I won't use it because I would feel really embarrassed if I clickbaited you guys into a video and then you showed up and you were like, oh, who's this tryhard? Like, this is not what we expected when we clicked. So I want to make it very clear exactly what you guys are getting when you click on my video. Oh, he said something gross. That's unfortunately. That's unfortunate. Weirdo. I am in DC. You're not catfishing anyone if nobody's interested. Sorry if that was rude. Jay Aubrey, I've never watched. So I really just, Caroline, I'm glad somebody picked up on that. I have been filming on my iPhone since I started. And I thought that, earlier on I was like, oh, I'm going to get a camera as soon as I can. But I'm finding that the camera quality is so good that, well, it's the truth. I'm finding that the camera quality is good enough that I can invest whatever extra money I do have in things like a higher performing laptop or other accessories that might help, more lighting equipment and stuff like that. Well, basic bitch, I wasn't going off on you, and I didn't really go off. I just made a little comment. If somebody is here making other people uncomfortable, then I'm sorry, your feedback's not gonna be great. Like, that's just how it goes. No, I think somebody's already asked me about Tiffany Ferguson. Yeah, thank you, Gemma. I do think that the quality is pretty good. Now, I will say one little hack. I do think that my audio quality can be oftentimes better than some of the bigger creators, and I think that it's because a lot of them aren't realizing. The only example I can think of is like Gabby Hanna. She has her new house and she's got an office, and sometimes she films in there, and she's got this bedroom and she films in there sometimes, and they're just big spaces, big empty rooms, and so the acoustics are just all off. Whereas where I am, I showed you guys that this whole wall is my closet. So it's all clothing and then curtains, and then I have my bed here. So there's a lot of upholstery and fabrics to absorb any echoes. So you know, having that is important. So if and when I get a chance to move into a bigger space, I'm going to want to make sure that I'm able to simulate that or do the same thing. Happy dinner time. I'm on an iPhone 11 Pro right now. Shelf items over time, or do you seek them out for a specific look? The new look great. Most of these I did seek out all at once. Like, I really wanted to just create something entirely new. Some things are left over, like Giuseppe, the little chihuahua over here. He was a paint by numbers thing that I did, and then I added the word. That picture is of me and Jake. That's been around for a while. This little candle that says be kind has been there. Like a couple things like that. A couple of these framed pictures up here. Well, I said it and I meant it. So, I never said that I didn't. So, anyway, you guys, I am doing well. Thank you, Rose Gold Geek. And I appreciate when you guys ask me how I'm doing, or just say that you hope that I am doing well. And I just hope that you guys trust me when I do tell you. We'll do a video of... Oh, about my clothes? I'm not sure. I've said this before. I have to get to a point where I am in love with fashion styling as I was years ago. And I might have to do some sort of story time, or it might be a Patreon thing where I really talk about my experience working at Trunk Club. All right, you guys, whoever's leaving, we're all gonna cut out soon. But I am going to talk about my experience in sort of like a fashion environment, and just so you guys know, I saw what needs to be moderated. We don't need to pay attention to it. You know, there are creepy people doing creepy things all over the world, so what does it matter if it's happening over here? Bye, Jason. Hope my fans don't think that's for... No, my fans know who it's for. There's no secret at all. So, yeah, guys, we recognize the need for moderation, and we know who the trolls are here, and we're not going to pay attention to them because they're just using whatever opportunity they have now before we have a moderator before the next one. So, yeah, I don't even know if there's any subtext to read. I think somebody's trying to pretend that there's subtext when there's no subtext, when I'm being freaking straightforward. So, yeah, I'm not worried about you guys. You guys who are here because you just have sad, lonely lives and you just want somebody to pay you attention, somebody who looks like me. It's like, here you go. Here's a freebie before we get a moderator. So, yeah, obviously, because you're here. Yeah, fashion, how to style. I might, as soon as I get more, like I said, back into that, back into my love for fashion. And that might come to after quarantine, once I'm really kind of putting together, no, Lisa C, I think, has other things going on with her sister. So, yeah. But, yes, I appreciate all you guys who are offering. So, and it's fine. As for right now, we don't really care about those people that need to be moderated. Like, we don't care. We don't need to talk about them. We don't give a shit about them. So what does it matter? Yeah, Oliver is really the one who's distracting us for the better. Thank you, Crystal. Yeah, there's just no point. I mean, you know, like, there are a lot of you guys who want my attention. There are a lot of you guys who have something nice to say and want me to pay attention to that. And I want to make sure that I'm taking time to acknowledge you guys' messages and, you know, to the people who deserve it. It's just like I'm doing a better job about, like, I can't even keep up with the comments. So what's the point in typing it? You jerk face. Like I said, I need to do a better job of paying attention to the comments that are meant to, from kind people. And I've found strategies around that, and I'm doing a much better job at that. So things are starting to look up there. I think you guys are seeing that on my, oh, I know, basic bitch, but you do deserve it. You do deserve it, absolutely. To those of you who are so kind to me. I want to rub Oliver's belly too, but he's not a belly rub lover. So yeah. Yeah, Giuseppe's really cute. So we're going to go ahead and end this because I do need to hop on to something else. I did mention a little podcast project, so we need to test our little, like our equipment and see if we can get, it's going to be very janky in the beginning, but we're going to see if we can get something going. Yeah, I'm so happy you guys made it here. Real life jobs. We're in fucking quarantine. Okay, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.